Yeah, so there's a an approach to therapeutics development that we're particularly excited about these days, and I think we might see it across a number of different modalities. And so the current paradigm of drug discovery is you try and understand, you analyze the biology of some disease, you figure out some targets, you create a library that should hit those targets, you spin up a cell line in vitro, hit those cells, you find some things that look like they work, then you take them into mouse models and pray to God that they don't kill the mouse and that they work in the mouse, and oftentimes they don't, in which case you got to go back to the drawing board, and now you've lost a ton of time, ton of money. It's super expensive. It's super cruel because you're obviously using a lot of animals for this, and it's one of the reasons that the pharma business model is struggling. And so there's a new breed of companies that are basically saying, what if we can just skip that whole in vitro step? What if we can find a way to, in multiplex, test therapeutics in vivo, right? So you can just find the most relevant animal model, and instead of having to test one, drug at a time, what if we can figure out a way of testing 100, 500, 1,000 drugs at a time? If you could do this, it would obviously be way better because you can test things in a much more relevant information space because you're actually testing things in a relevant animal model immediately. So you'd save time, you'd save money, less animals would be needed, and you should be able to radically increase the pace of drug development. You also, by the way, might be able to unlock sort of like reverse target discovery, right? So you might be able to not have to go through that first step of analyzing the biology of the disease to find a hit. You might just be able to find something that works directly. And so we think that there's going to be companies that are able to unlock this in protein therapeutics, in gene therapy, and in a few different modalities, and that it will hopefully in the next 10, 15 years become the default way of going about drug discovery. And if you can unlock this, in each modality, there's a $100 billion company to be built there.